Donald Trump just had a disastrous briefing with Republicans in Congress on the invasion of Venezuela. Donald Trump held this disastrous briefing at the Kennedy Center. Just take a look at what Donald Trump looked like during this briefing. I mean, these are real photos, not AI. This is how he was behaving. This is completely and utterly humiliating for the United States. Donald Trump was explaining why he invaded Venezuela and said, you know, the thing about Maduro is that he tried to imitate my dance a little bit, and I didn't like the way Maduro was dancing. Now, the New York Times, the Journal, and others reported that one of the main reasons for this invasion was this is what, as all these good sources are saying, that Donald Trump was upset at Maduro's dancing and that he thought that the dancing was trying to outshine Trump's dancing. Here, play this clip.
And, he's a violent guy. He gets up there and he tries to imitate my dance a little bit. But he's a violent guy.
Then Donald Trump says to the Republicans in Congress who are there at the Kennedy Center that he will be meeting with all of the oil companies. And he says, you know what we're going to be discussing, right? Drill, baby, drill in Venezuela. Here, play this clip.
With them all, 14 companies. I'm meeting with them all. I'm also meeting with oil companies. Let's go. You know what that's about. We've got a lot of oil to drill, which is going to bring down oil prices even further. But
now, one of the important things to point out is that Donald Trump is also discussing that the American taxpayers will subsidize this. It could be as much as $100 billion of taxpayer dollars subsidizing oil companies to go into Venezuela because the oil companies don't want to spend their own capital expenditures there. They don't think it's a wise investment. So the taxpayers, according to Donald Trump, may be footing the bill. Donald Trump then starts talking about cognitive exams, and he goes, I'm the only president to pass a cognitive exam. Let's show you this clip right here.
I believe in it. I'm the only one that took a cognitive test. It's the worst.
Then Donald Trump asks the Republicans sitting there, why don't the American people like what we're doing? He says, all of our policies are great. What the hell is going on in the mind of the public? Because we have all of the right policies. Trump says, first off, what the hell are your policies other than destroying the American economy, destroying the lives of 99.9% of Americans, getting into wars everywhere, and behaving like an utter maniac? Here, play this clip.
But they say that when you win the presidency, you lose the midterm. So you're all brilliant people. Most of you are in this business longer than me. That makes me smarter than you. Because look where I am, right? No, it doesn't. But I wish you could explain to me what the hell's going on with the mind of the public, because we have the right policy. They don't. They have a horrible policy. They do stick together. They're violent. They're vicious. They're vicious people.
Then Donald Trump says that he's upset at his staff more than the New York Times for reports about his deteriorating health and slowing down. He goes, why'd my staff only say that I did one thing in this day when I did lots of things in this day? So I'm more mad at my staff than the New York Times. Here, play this clip.
My people gave out a report. He had lunch. They show a report, lunch with somebody. And they did a story. Donald Trump is slowing down. He only had lunch. And then he went back up and they said, oh, that's malfeasance, whoever did, right? No, it's terrible. I was actually more angry with my people than I was with the New York Times. But they wrote a story, and it takes you a period of time to recover from these hits. And it's almost no matter what you do, but you have to keep a positive eye. But we have a fake press.
Now, as Donald Trump is briefing the Republicans in Congress, not the full Congress, by the way, he says he briefed the oil companies first. He's briefing the Republicans at the Kennedy Center, which he's vandalized and calls the Trump Kennedy Center. Donald Trump then continues to talk about cognitive exams and that every president needs to take one. Here, play this clip.
We should give everybody like these competency tests, right? The cognitive, they call it cognitive. I'm the only president that went for cognitives. I think every president and vice president should be forced to take cognitive exams, mental tests, like
Then, as Aaron Rupert says, checking in on the president, here, play this clip.
I want to really, but she gets it, and
Next, Donald Trump says that he phrases this as a joke. He goes, maybe we should just cancel the elections. He goes, why do we even have to run against Democrats? Why do we even have to run against these people? I won't say cancel the election, because if I do, everyone will say, he's a dictator. He's a dictator. Then Donald Trump randomly says, nobody is worse than Obama. Just starts going after Obama. Here, play this clip.
we had the worst president, did the worst job, they had the worst policy. We have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election, because the fake news will say, he wants the elections canceled. He's a dictator. They always call me a dictator. Nobody's worse than Obama.
And again, in this speech that was, I guess, supposed to be about invading Venezuela, Donald Trump starts again talking about Maduro's dancing versus his dancing. Then he goes, I'm a good dancer. The people like to see me dance. And my wife tells me that I shouldn't dance. And she says, would FDR be dancing? I mean, FDR had polio and was confined to a wheelchair, Donald. But what are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
She said, she's a very classy person, right? She said, it's so unpresidential. I said, but I did become president. She hates when I dance. I said, everybody wants me to dance. Darling, it's not presidential. She actually said, could you imagine FDR dancing? She said that to me. And I said, there's a long history that perhaps she doesn't know. Because he was an elegant fellow, even as a Democrat, right? He was the attack by Japan, he was quite elegant, but he wouldn't be doing this. But nor would too many others. But she says, darling, please, the weightlifting is terrible. And I have to say this, the dancing they really like. She said, they don't like it, they're just being nice to you. I said, that's not right. The place goes crazy. They're screaming, dance, please. But the weightlifting, but no, the girl gets up. And you see, I want to be more, but I have somebody watching. I want to be more effusive. I want to really, But she gets it, and drops the thing, walks off the stage crying. Her mother's crying, her father's crying.
Hey, are you tired of waking up hungover and worrying about what happened last night? Now you can have fun and relax without any of the regrets with Willie's THC-infused social tonic. For anyone trying to be more intentional this year, Willie's gives you that social, uplifting buzz without breaking your goals. Kicking off the new year with fewer hangovers, Willie's is the upgrade your resolutions will actually thank you for. For me, Willie's is perfect for unwinding after a long day or socializing without alcohol. It's finally an alcohol alternative that actually works, an uplifting euphoric buzz you could really feel without the negative side effects. A lot of non-alcoholic options promise a feeling but don't deliver. With Willie's, you feel relaxed and euphoric in about 15-ish minutes. It's a low-calorie, low-sugar alternative that actually works, delivering a fast-acting euphoric social buzz without the regrets that come with alcohol. Willie's social tonics come in 5 milligram and 10 milligram doses with a best-in-class flavor experience. So smooth and balanced you barely realize you're drinking a THC product at all. You can enjoy the tonics as a shot, sipped over ice, or mixed into your favorite mocktail. Willie's is not that feared edible you ate too much of in college. Each bottle of Willie's is third-party lab tested for accurate dosage so you can trust and customize your experience. Willie's unique blend of THC, CBD, CBG, and L-theanine delivers a feeling of calm, clarity, euphoria, and relaxation. One shot of Willie's helps you relax, unwind, and de-stress. Perfect for taking the edge off at the end of a long day or socializing with friends. Willie's offers the kind of feeling that makes good company even better. Willie's sold out 3 times in the first 6 months with over 50,000 plus happy customers, and they just restocked. Willie's ships directly to your doorstep in 40 plus states. Order now at drinkwillies.com and use code Meidas for 20% off your first order, plus free shipping on orders over $95, and enjoy life in the high country. That's drinkwillies.com MeidasTouch.com, code Meidas, MEIDAS.
Then Donald Trump says everybody in Venezuela right now, the entire country, is marching on the streets. Everybody loves it. That's actually not what's going on in Venezuela right now. The latest reports are that there are actually paramilitary groups loyal to Delcy Rodriguez, who is in the Maduro regime, authoritarian, who's now leading Venezuela. It's just another authoritarian. It's Delcy. Donald Trump threw under the bus Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader. And so, but here's in Donald Trump's world, everybody right now in Venezuela is cheering, when actually people are very scared in Venezuela. They don't know what's really happening. They don't know who's in control right now. And I think even the Venezuelan community in South Florida is like, I thought you were going to put Maria Corina Machado, not someone else from the Maduro regime. How are we supposed to return to Venezuela if the Maduro regime through Delcy Rodriguez is still basically running the show? Here, play this clip.
So we can't let them forget that we did such a great job on the border. By the way, Venezuela, everyone, they're marching in the streets. They love it, except in New York. I mean, where they find these people? These people, they're not like, these people are a mess. I know it's not nice to say that. These people are a mess. Where do they find these people? They're the worst looking people I've ever seen. They got hats that are all frayed and all, they look like, they're all paid. They don't even know what they're talking. When the reporters don't interview them because they know that it's, the press is so anti. It's hard to believe the press could be so anti. Because it's all common sense. It's not, we're conservative, whatever.
Then Donald Trump attacks the press randomly. Play this clip.
It's not even conservative, it's common sense. But the press has no credibility whatsoever. Think of it. I got 97% bad stories on one network, 93% on the other, and I won in a landslide. You know what that means? The press has no credibility. That's all it means. And we got to keep it that way. So I don't talk too much about.
Trump says he loves just seeing how good the soldiers look in D.C. He says, I just think they look really good. Here, play this clip.
And I don't know about you, but to me, those soldiers standing there look so good. I'm not going to feel safe walking down the street without them. I don't think you would either. Even though, we took out so many criminals, I just feel better. To me, they're beautiful. I look at these soldiers. And you feel safe. You feel safe. I don't think if we took them out, even if the crime wasn't much, it would definitely be more. We did a great job in Chicago.
Trump continues to go on and say that he's reducing drug prices by 1,000%. And he goes, the way you could do the math, it's two ways. You could either say they're down 90% or they're down 1,000%. Well, I don't know. It's not, you can't have something down 1,000% or down anything more than 100%. But actually, drug prices are going up. And 350 drug prices went up this year versus 250 drug prices that went up last year. And drug prices are going up about the rate of inflation, which continues to go up. Play this clip.
From 10 to 20 or 30. And ours would go from $13 down to, meaning $130 down to 20 or 30. So it's a huge drop for us. Now, depending on the way you calculate it, it could be thousands of percent down. It could also be 90% and 80%. There's two ways of calculating. I don't know if you know. They said Donald Trump exaggerated. Now, there are two ways of calculating it. But calculate it at 80, 90%. But the other way is more accurate, like 900%, because that's what it really is.
Then Donald Trump randomly says that Senator Tim Scott, Trump asks, he's a straight guy, right? He's a straight guy? Play this clip.
Tim Scott, who's a great guy, great, wonderful guy, South Carolina, straight guy, right? He is a good guy, good person.
Trump then says that he's the king because he sells Boeings. I'm the king. I sell Boeings. Play this clip.
The big problem with it. I'm the king. I have sold more Boeings than any human being on earth. They gave me an award, Salesman of the Year. I said, what about Salesman in the history of Boeing? I've sold more Boeing planes than any man in history by far, probably over 1,000. Over 1,000 planes. I said, that's the good news. But why should they wait 3-4 years to get a plane? They should build them, get them immediately. The F-35.
He talks about checking a tariff shelf. Play this clip.
What are you saying? We just don't know where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. Sir, that tariff doesn't start until September Said, no. It started about a month and a half ago. Check it. Comes back 25 minutes later. Sir, you were right. It came from tariffs. This never happened to us before. Where we find plus 39 billion, not million, plus 39 billion. They were missing.
And then he says he likes religious people because they're honest, but some religious people aren't honest. Play this clip.
Religious? I like that. He's a religious person. I like that. I like religious people. It usually means they're more honest. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. I've had some real religious ones that did numbers on me, and I said, I'm going to get them someday. They got me by surprise, but it's usually good, okay, right? And his name is Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson.
And then finally, while Donald Trump was doing this, he then called Joe Scarborough, and here's what he said about the difference between invading Venezuela versus Iraq. Here, play this clip.
I asked him, I said, Mr. President, when you say, quote, we're going to run everything, it obviously causes deep concerns because of the disaster in Iraq. The president's response, Joe, the difference between Iraq and this is that Bush didn't keep the oil. We're going to keep the oil. And to underline his point, Trump said his comments were no longer on background and said in 2016, I said we should have kept the oil. It caused a lot of controversy. Well, we should have kept the oil, the president said, and we're going to rebuild their broken down oil facilities. And this time we're going to keep the oil.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. And thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.